Hey, welcome to Piece of Pat Paints. I'm Pat. I paint and draw and I do all sorts of art stuff. That's what we do around here. I try to provide short videos and then we do these live things. And I used to try to do well. I was trying to do other videos, but I just don't have the. I don't actually have the technical know how to do all that. So you know, maybe one day we'll have like more ability for that. I don't know. But if you like chit chatting with people who make things while you watch them make them, this is the place for you. You'll enjoy this show. If you don't like watching people paint and make things, this is probably not the place for you. And that's okay. You know, doing strokes for different folks. And around here it's brush strokes. So or at least it is right now. Sometimes it's pencil strokes. Which I am still working on our comic. I've almost got the next page done, so put us 3 pages deep, which is a lot of fun. Once we get done, I gotta get ready for this show that's coming up in March. So once we get done with that, and I get these Bat Peoples, Batman and the Rogues Gallery. Once I get all that done, we'll get into working on the comic some more. I think. I'm gonna see how far I make it today. I'm not I don't know. I'm just having a day where I just don't feel like doing much. I don't know why. It just happens to people, right? You just have days where you just don't feel like doing anything really. So yeah. Anyway, let's get to work. Let's find something to do. I'm playing my phone. I've been watching the stocks all day. It's been a crazy day on the stock market. It went all the way down, all the way back up. I definitely did not get my timing right, but my hope is my long play is going to work. Because I'm playing a long play. I'm hoping that all this stuff drops significantly in the next couple of days, maybe weeks. We'll see. You never really know. The stock market is a crazy game, and we kind of watch it around here. Currently, everything is like sitting right around like where it opened at, so it's all flat. The market's it's gone up, it's gone down and come back up. And so if you know how to make money doing that, you could have made money. And I'm learning how to make money doing that. It's not easy. I missed some of my stuff today. I made a little bit of money, and now I'm hoping my long play will play out, and I'll get further down the line. But you never, like I said, you never know. Okay, let me get all that set up so I can actually see. I can actually count myself as a view counter. It's not like the only way sometimes you can get yourself to get moving on YouTube. I don't know, it's weird. That's enough of me yapping. It's about 5 minutes. I don't know. I read this thing that says you should wait like 5 minutes after you get started for people to file in and stuff like that. And I was like, man, alright. I'm going to try it today because I'm still trying to build myself up into it anyway. So yeah, let's try it. Let's give it a whirl. Alrighty. So, yeah, hopefully everybody's having a great day. I've had better days than today, but I've had a whole lot worse days than today. Could be worse. We are going to try to do a little bit of work on Harley today. We don't need that base necessarily. And we don't need our hair. I just had that on there for the pictures. We're going to finish that hair later. I did manage to find my Naples yellow, which I was very excited about. because this is like the perfect color for her hair, and like a whole bunch of other things. This color is great. I use Naples yellow a lot. If you're a long time viewer of the channel, you know how much I talk about Naples yellow. Just is a thing. Just is a thing. All right. What do we got here? Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So just a tiny Naples. And just kind of trying to grab the edges. Don't really want this sinking in. I guess you could probably do this with a dry brush too if you were so inclined. What we're really trying to do is just smooth out the overall hair. We don't want it to look so splotchy in its tones and colors. And then any place where, you know, maybe we got a little too close with the flesh color, we want to try and knock that out. Maybe we didn't even get to it originally. She's got a couple of these little wisps. Pick those up too while we're here. And just very, very gently hit those up. This is some of those weird things where it's like, I don't know, I've been painting models for a long, long time. And I will tell you, maybe 5% of people will even notice you did that unless you point it out that you did it. So if you're just looking to paint it good enough to go play a game, you know, if you're here to learn how to paint miniature stuff for war games or Dungeons and Dragons, don't fret so much over every little tiny detail being perfect, because they're not going to notice. Most people won't notice. Now, people that buy these things for collector's items, they might notice. They might look at it, really notice it. But sometimes they don't notice all those things until after they've bought it. They get it home and they're really looking at it. They're like, oh my god, that guy did all these details. Which is kind of fun to think about. This channel, we have a couple of things that we've done here where literally you wouldn't know that we had done them if you don't watch the channel, because it's hidden. You know, it's something that I painted on the inside of something that you'll never see. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with me. I'm just not feeling it today. Nothing really I can stick my fingers on. Sometimes life just gets rough. Right back in here and stuff, we really want to make sure we bring all that blonde back in. We got way dark back here, which is fine. It's great. We want the difference in tones, but we do want to make sure that overall we smooth it out and it looks more natural. So that's what we're doing here. Coming back over her hair and just getting it back to more of what the tone would be, or should be. Not that most people will be viewing the back of her head, but they might. In which case, they're going to see some of these little bubbles from the print. But that is exactly why I printed it the way I printed it. Printed to where all the supports are on the back so that all the front's clean. Brush maybe too wet. The good thing about yellow, and we've talked about this several times, we'll talk about it again, is that its pigment is a little bit, yellow's pigments are always a little bit softer, so they're not as intense. The way they cover will often fade. So it's number one, you got to build up your yellows. So these yellows have been built up several times to get these colors to come out like this. So that way it really does look like she's got, you know, a blonde hair that, you know, is more of a natural tone right now. Now we're probably going to go through and do a little bit of color on her tips. Taking hot pea back. Oh yeah. Dyeing and stuff. That's a fun thing. I'm definitely trying to keep my hobbies focused down to art and plants right now. I got so much plant stuff going on, it's crazy. We have plenty of tomatoes for those of you who are keeping track of the garden saga. We have lots of tomatoes coming up. I'm still waiting to see some peppers and other stuff come up. But we've got tons of tomato sprouts, more than what we're going to need. Probably going to plant them all anyway. If we have room. And if I don't have room now, I might just make room. But anyway, yeah, we're going to get some peppers going. And then just one more time. Like I said, that yellow is real. It will fade off on you. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I've seen them do it on. I think I watched a YouTube video of them doing it where they put the wax on this shirt and do the dye and then melt wax out of it. It's pretty neat. It's a pretty neat process to watch. Oh, looks like the markets are reversing again. I'm telling y'all, it's been a wild ride on this market today. Oh yeah, it never did. So the S&P never did bust over 6,850, which was kind of a line in the sand there. They might try to rally it one more time, but it's been trying to break past that all morning since early this morning. It's been trying to break past, and it just simply hasn't been able to do it. So it looks like we're about to. It looks like it's about to head the other direction again. What a wild ride. If you don't play stocks, man, maybe you should. Maybe you should do. I mean, maybe not now. Save up your money now, because it's about to go tits up for a little while. But here pretty soon, you should be in pretty good shape to jump back in on some long positions. So yeah, we do a little bit of everything on this channel. If you kind of like my vibe and you want to chill with us, come chill, hang out, paint some stuff, talk about painting some stuff, build some stuff, talk about building some stuff, garden some stuff, talk about gardening, talk a little bit about finances and trade. See, like right now, everybody keeps talking about interest rates, and interest rates going down or up, whatever. And they're also talking about inflation rates. And one of the big problems that's going on right now, when you really look down into this, is that yeah, inflation's cooling off. It's not really going anywhere. The problem is that most people don't understand that that prices aren't really going to go down. Like that's not how that works. They're just gonna stop going up. That's so like we're here now, and the biggest problem and the reason why people can't really, I don't know, they can't really feel like the economy is getting better, because it isn't to most people, and the reason it isn't is because wage growth has not happened, and probably isn't gonna happen. There's a lot of places are stalling their promotions. Most places are paying contractors and going for more commission-based work, part-time work, things like that. So the wage growth is not going to keep up with what has already happened. And there's not going to be a balance to bring it all back, and that's going to be where the big problem comes from. So if they don't start raising some of the wage soon, then you gotta like I said, you got a big problem on your hands. There's nothing I can do about it here in Oklahoma. Once a price for a product is normalized, even if it can technically go down, it won't. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, even if they technically could bring the price of some of that stuff down, they won't. It's just going to stay where it is. The price of Coca-Cola is probably going to stay where the price of Coca-Cola is until something major and drastic happens to Coca-Cola. That's just how business has always gone. So us as the consumers, we get stuck in the crossfires. The thing that you probably should be thinking about is what can you do without, and what can you do that's going to help you make the best use of your time and money. How can you be the best prepared for the coming situations? I'm learning how to garden. I already know a lot about food and how to cook and how to do food preservation and stuff like that. Which I'm thinking we might do some cooking on the channel too, just because I don't know. I might do some like maybe I don't know. I don't know if that should be another channel or if we should just do that here and it's just everything that's me under the sun. Because it almost feels like that's what you should do nowadays. It almost feels like you should just sell your personal brand, you know? What's your personal brand? Oh man. Yeah. Well, okay, let's break that down. That's a good idea on the face of it. That's a really great idea, right? We plant fruit trees in public spaces. Sounds like a great idea. Part of the problem here is that now you have a situation where you're relying on people's good nature. And I think the problem with most forward-thinking individuals is that we have a tendency to want to believe in the better nature of ourselves as people. We just do. It's just how we are as people. We want to believe that everyone is going to behave and participate in this system in the right manner, that's so that everyone can benefit. And what ends up happening is not that. It always goes down for him. It always devolves to that. So what you have to do as an individual and as a family unit, or as a group of sapiens together as community, is figure out the best way to. Yeah, right. Well, we're forward-thinking individuals. We're not fear-based. I shouldn't even say forward-thinking, because they're forward-thinking too. But we're not fear-based creatures. You and I. We're not fear-based humans. Where our logic sensor is not based in the idea that everything is out to get you, and that the whole world is always trying to rob you, and yeah. We want to believe, like I said, in the better nature of humanity, so to speak, which is good, honestly. And people who really want to achieve things in this world, most of them have that kind of mentality, forward thinking. Or not necessarily forward thinking, but benefit of the doubt. We'll give people the benefit of the doubt. Let's say it like that. So give people the benefit of the doubt, right? Unfortunately, there's always people that take advantage of that situation. There just are. You can't actually get rid of that part of our civilization. So then what do you do? Well, then we're back to talking about policing a situation. And then it's who pays the police to be the watchman. Who's paying the watchman? Okay, well, these people pay the watchman. And then, who watches the watchman? And it's because now they could take advantage of the situation. All it takes is one really bad person to get into a position of power, and they can manipulate the systems and laws however they see fit to create a system that benefits only them and their colleagues and cohorts, or some of their friends, or whatever however they want to say that. So you've got it's just a sticky wicket. Now, if you ask me, what I'm thinking is we need to have. Okay, so back when, if we really want to talk about when America was great, or whatever that means to the people who are saying that, but what it means in reality, as far as a nation that's accomplishing something, is when we had a 50% corporate tax rate. We don't have any fruit trees yet. I think we've got I think we've got a pecan tree. No, we're starting up pecan trees. I'm getting ready to do fruit. Fruit in Oklahoma is not that easy, except for like some very certain things. I want to try to do some sand plum, because that's something that grows indigenous out here, and it's a great fruit. So I want to get some fruit trees. I want to get some nut trees going. And that's another thing is like, I'm lucky. I've got territory and land here. We've got property that we can do all this on. And that's why what you need is, you couldn't really necessarily put it in a park. But what you could do is a community could theoretically create a space that was those community gardens where people participate in them. That might work on a larger scale, but you're talking about, you just got to be able, you got to police it somehow. You got to police it. And then we're right back where we started. How do we police it? But my theory, what I think they should do, for what it's worth, is they should teach more home gardening and cooking and things like that, because a lot of it isn't necessarily being able to garden. That does generate a huge boon for me, but I have the time for it. Not everybody's got that kind of time or space, but we really should get focused on teaching people how to cook again. Most people have forgotten a lot of how to do some basic food stuff. Things that our grandparents used to teach each other, great grandparents used to teach, great grandparents used to teach. They just stopped teaching it, out of convenience. We got so wrapped up on Swanson's frozen dinners that people stopped cooking. You know what I mean? For good or bad. Now it's starting to look a lot like bad. But if we can get them to, if we could get folks really coming back to learning how to do those simple things when it comes to cooking, how to take like a whole chicken, break it down, and do that stuff. Because like Sir McBeardsly knows, but not everybody knows. But like, your prices of chicken, if you're able to buy a whole chicken and fabricate it, you're gonna save a whole heck of a lot more money than if you're trying to buy a whole bunch of stuff that's already been prefabricated. Plus if you know what to do with the bones that are coming out of that chicken, then that gives you yet another thing that you're prepared with versus other folks. There's just a lot of different things that can go into that. Can't boil water. Yeah, I mean, it's just a thing. I don't know. I really think, man, I almost want to do shorts with that's cooking stuff. Just some basic food prep, basic food prep, because that's where a lot of people just need a little bit of help. It's like, how do I plan out a meal? How do I look at my grocery bill or my grocery shopping differently? What should I be buying? Instead of buying this, should I buy that? There's a lot. Man, there's so much to food, and a lot of it isn't the not knowing how to boil water, which that is probably true for some folks. And I'm not laughing with you. We're just laughing at the situation. I'm not laughing at anybody. Everybody's got to start somewhere, right? But
you've definitely got a situation where, nobody's been taught how to take a chicken, and unless you go to like culinary school or something, you don't get taught how to take a chicken and break it all the way down unless you have a heavy food culture family, you know. Yeah, and then like, what do you do with it? How do you store it? A lot of people don't know exactly how to preserve things the best. So they don't know how to freeze it properly. So it ends up, they do freeze it, and then it comes out of the freezer and it tastes awful, and then they want to do that again, which is completely understandable. Yeah, well, I think more people are going to have to cook on a basic level soon. I don't think that we're going to be able to hold on to this fast casual culture that we found ourselves in, if you're asking personally. Because it's not good for the environment. It's not good for our psyche. It's not good. It's just not good. And it's gonna have to stop eventually. You've got to get away from that and into, a different kind of mindset. But like back what I was saying before, we should get back what we were doing when America was really going hard. Was we had a 50% corporate tax rate. So like before dividends and stuff could get paid out, they had to satisfy the tax. We got rid of that, and things have been kind of messed up ever since, if you ask me personally. Modern fridge designs, man, I do not like all that. It really does. It's crazy. Or not even just necessarily next to it, but to where raw products could drip down onto things that are not that are RTE. Um, it boggles my mind, man. I don't get it. I don't know. Maybe I'm not supposed to get it. Maybe I'm not supposed to get it. But yeah, it's crazy, man. If you don't know how to, do some real basic food work, you could easily be spending way more money than you really need to eat and survive. Because like, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a little crazy. Maybe I'm just being old and crotchety. But it definitely isn't like it was when I was young, man. You could get I don't know how some of these folks are gonna afford homes coming up. Like, it's gonna be crazy. Hey, get out of here, ant boy. Hey, hang out with Two-Face. You don't want to be in my fingers. I'm gonna have to smash you. Go on over there. Come on, get on Catwoman's head. There you go. So I'm really a kind, considerate creature. I don't really want to destroy or rob anybody of any of their, well-earned, well-fought things. I just, want everything to get along. But I also have come out of my time on this earth to understand that most people don't live their lives that way. Most people are trying to get ahead of everybody else. Which is helpful in some ways. The competitive edge is a good thing, but it can also be very detrimental. As I think we can see now, since most of the wealth in the world is locked up in 10% of the people. Oh, they're trying to rally again. I don't think so. No, sir. That is not enough. That is not going to rally. Volume's just not high enough. So there's another thing. Remember about trading. Like if the volume isn't high enough, then it's not gonna move very far. A little bit of that part number back in under here as I'm working on it. I'm going to smooth this out. Same thing with this back here. So we want kind of a bit of a blend. After we get the makeup on there, you're really not going to tell quite as much on the face. But back in this stuff here, you would be able to tell. I don't worry too much about making her cheek line seem super clean, but I do want this transition here to be clean. Because that makeup's going to cover up a lot of what we did here. Section right there, that's a little bit of that muddied down pale terracotta. Then we're going to come back with the regular terracotta on the highlights. Just kind of blend them together. And between all the zenithaling and the darkening and the blending, we should be getting pretty close to a nice, clean, smooth look. We still even have another round of lighter to go, even one more step up from where we're at. So it's going to get just a little lighter than this. This Pale Rose blush. focus on your highlights here. And again, we didn't necessarily have to go this crazy on her face, because we are going to put the makeup on there, but I want to do less on hers than I did on the Joker. I want to give her a little bit more of her, let a little bit more of the flesh tone come out than I did with Joker. That way they both have the makeup thing going on, but I don't, I want to show off, a little bit of the skin underneath, and plus it gives us a chance to kind of work on some flesh tone, kind of show a little bit of that here on the live stream, which is always good. Flesh tones are always fun to learn how to do. It is definitely something that you get better at as you practice. Like I've gotten so much better over the years at this one. My flesh stuff used to look pretty basic, and it's gotten a whole lot better as I go. We're going to let a lot of that color just kind of fade through. That's why we left this line here. So as we come through with this, it'll mask this line some more, but then when it dries, that is going to set itself a whole... You're going to see it pop through her face. You see it already happening over here on this side. And it's literally just accentuating what the modeler did to begin with. Hey, what's going on, Jared? Good to see you, sir. All right. And we're just going to continue that same stuff on down through here. That's back to pale terracotta. his lace lacy. We're gonna have to come back and mess with this sprawl again a little bit later. I'm gonna set this in here now so that can get started. Remember, we're painting in very thin layers, right? Little thin layers. Little thin layers. And while that, all we got to do is let this what's going on in there happen, and then we just come back over with the black on top of it, and bada bing, bada boom, done. Easy stuff. Do do da da dum dum dum. Yep. What we really need to do, and I've talked about this a couple times, is we need to build a giant drone dragon that whenever you get to your over $1 billion, you have exactly 48 hours before the dragon begins to get yourself under that amount of money. And like within 48 hours, if you still have over $1 billion, then the dragon is coming. And he's going to burn you alive. And we should have a live feed of it. There should be a feed. There should be a live feed of the dragon so that the rest of us can watch it hunt down these billionaires. Yeah, that's what we should do. Oh, man. I'm not kidding. I'm dead serious. Dragon. Build the dragon. Somebody build it. You know, it should adjust for inflation. Well, I guess no. That would probably keep inflation adjusted on its own. People would just leave the value of money alone. They'd be like, no, don't make it worth less. Because then, like, we're all gonna be in trouble. The dragon's coming. Yes, make the dragon. It should be a real thing. Like, pay money to watch a robot dragon chase billionaires and burn them alive. Okay, what's wrong with me? Nothing wrong with me. I'm probably pretty sane, actually. The rest of the world's crazy. Isn't that what you're supposed to say? I don't even know anymore. Life's so weird. They've made it to where you can't tell what's real and what's not. Sometimes you're like, man, is that fake news or is that real news? It's a crazy, crazy world. Somebody ought to sell tickets. I'd buy one. They do sell tickets though. It's a reality show. You just have to pay. You have to pay monthly. Them be facts. Facts. Rough go of it today, folks. Rough go of it today, but we're getting there. We're making it happen. We're making it look good. Painting the things. That's probably why I'm so rebellious and angsty. Like, burn it down! Burn it all to the ground! I'm kidding. Don't burn it all to the ground. Just like some of it. I had to vent that a little bit. Sorry to anybody who that might have disturbed. My apologies. Feel a little bit better. It'd feel a whole lot better if I could watch a billionaire get burned alive by a dragon. Oh, man. I don't think it would make me feel worse. And see, and that's how I know that that's how I know they're winning. Because I didn't used to feel like that. I used to be a very live and let live kind of guy, you know, be like, whatever. They made their bag, you know, congratulations. Yeah. Now I'm like, no. Nuh-uh. Burn them. You know what radicalized me? Jesse Jackson on television. It was Jesse. R.I.P. brother. Man, well, lots of things radicalized me, but like I remember Jesse Jackson. I am somebody. That shit has always stuck with me. That kind of stuff right there. What a guy. R.I.P. brother. Okay, well, I got a lot more of flesh to work on here, which is not the most entertaining thing in the world. We'll be back tomorrow. Do a little bit of stuff. Should look good though. You got to do the rest of this hair. Maybe we should do that now, just so it doesn't look so weird in pictures. Definitely looks way off. It's pretty easy. It's just a burnt umber, real thin. We're just going to coat the whole thing. Make sure it's going to hit all of our crevices. So we're just trying to basically create a contrast, right? Is what we're trying to do here. Some people call this a wash. You know, when you make paint this thin. Yeah, you can call it whatever you want. I don't care. It doesn't make any difference to me. You know, wash is a good word for it, as any. Good word as any. You're just trying to make sure it's gonna get the color tint you want. Sometimes you'll feel like maybe you want it a little thicker. Back here in the back, maybe I want it to get a little thicker here, so it's gonna brown up some of that black a little better. It's also going to be a shadow here in the back, so a little darker isn't going to hurt it. Part of that's from our zenithal, so that's that where we put all that work in early. Still paying, it's going to pay dividends all the way through the game. It doesn't feel that way sometimes, but it does. Always been a whatever as long as it's not affecting my life. Yeah. I'm that way until it's Nazis, and we're there. We're at Nazis now. We're at Nazis. We're at billionaire Nazis, which are worse. Somehow being a capitalist Nazi is worse than being a regular Nazi. Golly. I guess we should have known that was a real thing. I don't know how you can be a capitalist and a Nazi at the same time, but man, they sure are. Probably not supposed to be saying that on YouTube, but I don't get monetized anyway. So, I don't give a shit. If we get the monetization, I'll start thinking about correcting my language. Until then, Google can kiss my ass. A little algorithm listening to me talk about them too. Now my stuff's gonna get hit. I don't care. It's probably why you should just not done the show today. I'm definitely in that mood where I'm like, it's all good though. Probably makes for entertaining content, honestly. If I'm thinking about it, it's probably more entertaining when I'm a little irritated. At least then I got something to say. It may not be like the most effective thing to be saying. But at least I got something to say. Feels like the people that are supposed to be leading this world could lead us out of a paper bag with a sword. And that's concerning. But whatever. You keep making money, keep making art, keep making videos, keep having fun, keep laughing. Touch some grass. Everybody should go touch some grass. Do that today. Touch some grass today. Highly recommended. I'm gonna go do it myself. Well, there's probably there might not be any grass. It's still kind of wet outside. Yeah, touch some clover or something. Trying to get that excess little wash got on her cheek there. Trying to get that off. Lazy guac for lunch. Mix an avocado with some good salsa. There you go. That's good stuff. Alrighty. Well, it's a big show. Shout out to all the wrestling fans out there. Put her stuff back on. Take a look at her real quick before we sign off. There we go. Yeah. Definitely starting to look more and more like Harley Quinn all the time. Slowly but surely. Golly, that's a lot of... That hair is a mess. That's a lot. Okay. Well. Hey, I made it. I made it through the whole show. I'm proud of myself. You should be proud of yourselves, too. For whatever it is you've done today. Be proud of yourself. Remember, like Jesse said, you are somebody. You are somebody. And you are important. You matter. Even when we don't feel like we do. We matter. We all matter. I don't know why I turned that off. Wasn't ready for that. Anyway, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and or whatever, whenever you see this, night, whatever. If you like what we do here, give us a like and a subscribe, and help us turn the algorithm around, and get maybe we can get more people involved in our dragon idea. Robotic dragon. go burn people alive. Good stuff. Um, anyway, take care of yourselves. We'll be back. Be good to yourself. Be good to somebody else. Be good to people you don't know. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Oh, this button right here. Okay, now we're going. Bye.